In this video, I'm going to teach you the 10 steps to buy a new construction home. I think getting a new construction home is the best way to get into the market in 2023 and 2024. So if you're considering builders like Lennar, KB Homes, Taylor Morrison, or a local builder, be sure to watch this video and let's dive right in. Oh, by the way, my name is William Zhang. I'm a realtor here in Austin, Texas. I love doing full reviews around the city and talk about all things real estate. If it's your first time here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, step number one to getting new construction, be sure that you are pre-approved. Not just because you want to know your budget before you start home shopping. That is a plus. It helps speed up the process, but it's also to give you the best financing terms. So a lot of times when you start working with builders, they will try to push you towards a preferred lender, a preferred title company, and they usually don't provide you with the best terms possible. What I mean by that is that they might charge a higher interest rate and usually a very high loan origination fee, because when they offer you incentives like rate buy down, buying down your rate from 8% into like 5.5%, which is worth around $40,000, but then they charge you $32,000 in loan origination fee from their mortgage company, which in turn that incentives into a $8,000 incentive instead of a $40,000 one. So it is something to think about, and that's why I recommend that you get your pre-approval letter from an independent mortgage lender so that you know the fees that you're gonna be charged and also the rate you're gonna get in the open marketplace. And once you have that pre-approval letter, let's move on to step number two, which is to be sure that you're working with a realtor. When you tour a new home community and you start seeing the model homes, the builders in there, the self-storage in there, the realtor in there, they don't represent you, they represent the company. And it is in their best interest to sell the home as soon as possible without letting you know about any of the issues that they might come up. So once you start talking to them, you might not have an opportunity to bring in your realtor later on. So be sure when you visit a community to have your realtor there so they can help guide you through that process and protect your best interests. And as I mentioned before, I am a realtor here in Austin, Texas. If you're looking to buy a new construction home or a home in general, be sure to call me right now using the number in the description box. You can also email me, shoot me a text, get in touch with me, and let's work together. Step number three, this is the fun part where you can actually go out and house hunting. I call this the honeymoon phase, where you get to see everything in the best light possible. And it's good not only that you tour the home, you also tour the community, you also tour the street. You make sure that you can make a drive from here to the grocery store. Be sure to come during different times of day to hear what's it like, what's it sound on the street, what's it sound in the neighborhood. A lot of time there might be new construction going on down the road, but just be sure that you're aware what you're getting into. And at the same time, you have to set real expectations. When you go toward a model home, just so you understand, a model home is a model. It looks fantastic. It's the best looking home that they probably will have. Yes, all the fancy upgrades. It showcases the builder's best capabilities, but it does not mean your home will look like the model home. It might cost you a lot more money to upgrade everything in the home that you're trying to move into to the way the model home is presenting them. So be sure that you set proper expectations and have fun, enjoy the process. And now let's say you found your dream community and dream home. And typically I recommend looking into inventory home ready to move in this scenario, because builders are trying to get rid of them as soon as possible. So looking into inventory homes in new build community is the best way to get into the housing market right now. And now let's move on to step number four, which is making an offer. And when you're making an offer, a new build, typically there's an asking price by the builder, and you don't have to bid over the asking price. The builders know their numbers inside and out. They know how much they're making, how much they're losing, what's the break-even price for them. So the asking price is the price they really try to sell at. But in today's market, buyers have all the power. And if you're looking into inventory homes, builders want to get rid of them. So they're actually willing to make a lot more concessions by rate buy downs and incentives and discount pricing, covering closing costs, builder credit, whatever it is, try to sell the home as soon as possible. So work with your realtor to negotiate with them and be prepared to have the earnest money ready, the money deposited into the escrow account, and can go through with the contract. And in this case, and the builder themselves probably have a contract that they want to work with instead of the standard forms out there. So be sure to have your realtor, have yourself, have your lawyers to read through them to be sure that your interest is protected. And now let's move on to step number 5. During inspection, you have to order an inspector that is trustworthy, that is experienced, and that has knowledge about what's going on in that community. You might believe that new homes have no issues, but that is not the case. Every home has issues. And I know a horror story from a new build community, one of my realtor friends who during closing discovered that there is a bubble in the pipes below the home. The builders and the sales reps are trying to push for closing and say this is no big issues, or they'll address the issue sometime down the road. All the empty promises, but a realtor was there to protect the client's best interest and stood their ground and said, we're not closing until you fix the pipes. Because the inspector pointed out that is a huge issue that might cost like 20 grand to fix later down the road. And we never believe in empty promises. So eventually the builders and the sales reps have to cave in, and they had to dig up the flooring, they had to break the concrete, they fix the pipes, and then cover everything up before closing. And that's why it's so important to have a realtor that will have your back and push for you and fight for you. And be sure to order a home inspection, even if it's a new construction home. All right, step number 6, which is to create a punch list and a blue tape walkthrough, what I call it. Basically what happens here is that this happens a few weeks before closing, and it's before your final walkthrough. You'll have an opportunity to go through the home with the builder and your realtor to point out any glaring issues that you see, things like missed the paint spot, or mismatching paint, or the door hinges are not working as intended, or the doors is kind of like slanted, all those little issues that you want the builder to address before closing. Because after closing, they probably don't care about you anymore, and you're low on their priority list. So you want that taken care of before closing. And what happens is that during this walkthrough, you'll put a blue tape into that area and write everything down into a punch list. Submit this to the builder to make sure that everything is addressed before closing and that everything is documented. And it's always a good idea to have a second pair of eyes that help you catch any sort of issues during that walkthrough. And that's why you want to have a realtor with you to walk through the property during that time. And if you need a realtor in the Austin area, be sure to reach out to me using the number in the description box. Call me, text me, email me. Love to get in touch with you. All right, step number 7, which is to secure your home insurance. Home insurance company like you a lot because you just bought or you're buying a new construction home. Typically, these are lower cost premium, and then they know that there won't be a lot of issues coming up, so you actually save a little bit from your home insurance premium. And step number 8 is your final walkthrough and closing on your loans. What happens here is that you want to make sure everything on the punch list that you did prior is addressed. You are walking through the property and notice there are no issues at all, or any issues that is made aware and is already documented, and you're accepting the home as that condition. And after this final walkthrough, you want to order an appraisal. This is when the appraiser can come in and see the home basically in its completed state. So don't order the appraisal before this. Don't order the appraisal during your first walkthrough, because people might still be addressing those issues, trying to patch your wall up, trying to fix a door, trying to get the lights connected, whatever it is. So after your final walkthrough where everything's working as intended, then you can order an appraisal. The appraiser can come in and evaluate the home and give you a proper valuation for the home that can be sent to the lender. And finally, we're here at closing. The final step is to make sure that you go through signing the closing documentations and with your title company, make sure that everything's in check. Ideally, your realtor will be there with you to help walk you through that process. Sign the closing document, pay the closing costs, and make your down payment. And when you're choosing a title company, you don't have to use the preferred title company from the builder. You can probably save a little bit of money if you use another title company. So you can probably shop around for a title company. It could save you some money there as well. And finally, congratulations. Now you have the keys to your new construction home, and you'll absolutely love it. Now you can go set up utilities, get all the cables, get all the internet, get everything set up, all the good stuff. And if you have any more questions about buying a new construction home, be sure to leave them in the comments below. I love to answer them for you. And if you're looking for a realtor in your area who are experienced, who knows how to go through the new construction home process, be sure to reach out to me. I love to refer you to a trusted realtor in your area. And if you're in the Austin area, reach out to me using the number in the description box. Call me, text me, email me. I love to work with you. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.